Hello students, today I am going to start exercise 16.3. First of all, we shall see some of the definitions given over here. One is the definition given of probability of an event, which is already covered in the class 9, but it is redefined in the class 11 because now we are using the definition into a very different formula. So see, the definition is given to us for a finite sample space with equally likely outcomes. Equally likely outcomes we shall discuss little later. Probability of an event P of A. Suppose A is your event. So probability of an event A will be equal to N of A, as you can see in the numerator, upon N of S. N of A means the number of sample point in the event A, and N of S means the number of sample point in the sample space. In the class 9 or class 10, whatever the definition you have covered, that is number of possible outcomes in place of N of A and total number of outcomes in place of N of S. But now in the class 11, we have to study this formula and accordingly we have to solve the questions. Okay, as you can see, it is defined over there. N of A, number of elements in the set A, or you can say that number of sample points. And similarly, the N of S will be equal to number of element in the set S. Means set S will be here sample space. So number of sample points, sorry, you can say, or you can say the number of elements. Now, what is equally likely outcomes? See the definition. All outcomes with equal probability means, suppose if we see the event, and in under that event whatever the outcomes are coming, so suppose all the events have the, or all the outcomes have the same probability, we can say that is called as the equally likely outcomes. For example, suppose if we toss a coin and getting a head or a tail. Normally, when you toss a coin, there will be two outcomes. One, either you will get the head or you will get the tail. So suppose if you get the head, what will be the possibility? What will be the probability over here? That is 1 by 2. And similarly, if you see the possibility of tail, that will be also 1 by 2. So we can say that it is equally likely outcomes, the outcomes with equal probability. Okay, similarly, suppose if you throw a dice, and when you are throwing a dice, suppose if I ask you what is the possibility of getting 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6. So each and every possibility will be here 1 by 6, 1 by 6. So this will be also called as equally likely outcomes. Okay, now the third definition will come over here, that is called as validity of assignment. Validity of assignment means what actually? See, there are two conditions are given. The assignment means whatever the outcomes are coming or whatever the probability is coming under the particular event, so that is valid or not, that we are going to check with the help of these two conditions. Condition number 1, suppose it is given each of the number PWI. Actually, it is not W, it is omega. So omega is taken a symbol for showing the outcome over here. Sorry, showing the event over here. Okay, so value of I you can take 0, 1, 2, 3. Suppose there are many outcomes. So PW1, PW2, PW3, there will be different outcomes we can take. Okay, so here the value of PWI should be positive, one thing, and second thing, it should be lesser than 1. Means it should lie between 0 and 1. Okay. Similarly, the second condition, the sum of the probabilities means PW1, PW2, PW3 dash 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 till all, that all possibilities will be equal to 1. Means if you add all the possibilities, then sum will be equal to 1. I will explain you these two conditions before we shall go for the one solved example. I will explain you with the help of one simple example over here. See, suppose if I say you have to toss a coin. So after tossing a coin, how many outcomes will come? After tossing a coin, there will be either head will come or it may come the tail, right? So we can say that here, suppose if I ask you the value of coming head or coming tail. Suppose if I say the getting head, I am showing by the symbol PW1. Okay, getting head, and its value will be equal to 1 by 2. Similarly, getting tail, I am showing by the symbol PW2. So that will be also here 1 by 2. Now you check each and every value over here, PW1, PW2. That will say here assignment. Observe both the values are coming 1 by 2, that lies between 0 and 1, means that should be positive and it should be below 1. So condition number 1 is applicable here. Similarly, now if I add PW1, okay, plus PW2, if I add both of them, then the value of these two assignment, the sum will be equal to 1. Okay, so here we can see that the condition number 2 is also applicable, because see, whatever the outcomes are possible under that event, so we have added all the outcomes and the sum of all the outcomes, or we can say that the probabilities are coming equal to 1. So here let us see some of the examples are given over here. For example, look at the first part. Observe the value of W1, W2, W3, W4, W5 and W6. In the first part, it is given here 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6 only. Okay, so here we can say that the value is condition number 1. The values are coming under 0 to 1. So that is okay. But second thing, and we'll add 1 upon 6, 1 upon 6, all the 1 upon 6 we shall add. So we can say that the addition should be equal to 1. See the solution number A. Okay, each of the number we can see they have written here, each of the number PWI is positive and less than 1. Means positive means we are expecting more than 0 over there. Okay, if 0 comes, then also we can take it. Similarly, the condition number 2, we can say the sum of the probabilities will be equal to 1 upon 6, 1 upon 6. If you add all the 1 upon 6 over there, then it will be equal to 1. So observe, both the conditions are followed over here, and we can say that the given assignment is valid. Similarly, look at the second assignment. Second assignment, observe the values are given 1, 0, 0, 0, all other values are given 0. Now see what is the explanation given over there. Each of the number P of Wi is either 0 or 1. First condition, so you know that the values are coming between 0 and 1, including 0 as well as 1. It will, the individual assignment cannot be equal to 1 because we are adding all the other assignments. Okay, so if one individual assignment is equal to 1, then remaining assignment should be 0, then only their sum can be equal to 1. So don't be confused whether the values can be 0 or 1 or not. The values can be 0 and 1, there is no problem. Okay, means the condition number 1 says the value of the assignment should lie between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1, if the condition is that the sum of the assignment should be equal to 1, otherwise it will become invalid. Okay, so here you see, first of all, we can say that the assignments are, condition number 1 according to the assignments are valid because the values are coming between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. And similarly, the second condition, they are saying sum of all the probabilities is equal to 1, because 1 plus 0, 0, 0, all other assignment, if you add, it will be equal to 1 only. So therefore, the assignment is valid. So I hope there is no confusion in this part. Remember only one thing, the assignment can have the value between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. Only the including 0 and 1, the condition is like that the sum of all the probabilities should be equal to 1. The second condition should be followed properly. Okay, otherwise it can have the value 0 as well as 1, or any other value between 0 and 1. Okay, so now see the C part, 1 upon 8, 2 upon 3, 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3. So see, 1 upon 8 is under 0 and 1. 2 upon 3 is also under 0 and 1. 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3, that is also under 0 and 1. But last two assignment you observe in the third part, that is minus 1 upon 4 and minus 1 upon 3. No assignment could be negative, because we know that the assignment should be between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. Okay, so here we can say that in the part number C, the given assignment is invalid. Okay, I will show you what explanation is given in the solution. See, in the third part they are saying two of the Probabilities PW5 and PW6 are negative, therefore the assignment is not valid. Similarly, part number D you observe. In the part number D, observe there is a last assignment that is given 3 by 2. 3 by 2 value, if you try to find out in decimal, then it will come 1.5, and 1.5 does not lie between 0 and 1. So therefore this assignment is also not valid. Okay, then part number E. In the part number E, you observe all the assignments are given in decimal, and see all the assignments are looking between 0 and 1. That is there is no problem in the condition number 1. But condition number 2 says we have to add and check whether they are equal to 1 or not. So see, here they have added all of them. Look at the part number E, and the value is coming here 2.1, so that value is more than 1, so therefore assignment is not valid. Okay, we'll see one question in the exercise of similar kind. Now some remarks are there that we will see. If A and B are any two events, then P of A or B, you know that A or means here union, so we already know that the formula of A union B is equal to, means number of elements of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. So here the same formula we have made. P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. The similar formula is developed in the case of probabilities. And second thing, if A and B are mutually exclusive, then what will be the value of P of A or B? Means P of A union B. So in that case, it will be equal to P of A plus P of B, because in that case, since A and B are exclusive, so value of A intersection B is equal to 5, and hence the number of element in A intersection B will be equal to 0. And if the number of element of A intersection B will be 0, then definitely the value of P of A intersection B will be also 0. So in the formula of P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. If I replace the value of P of A intersection B by 0, we can say that then formula will become P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B. Okay, and the last formula is P of not A. Remember, suppose if I ask you the any particular event, P of A and P of not A, their addition will be always equal to 1. For example, if you toss a coin, okay, and if I ask you what is the possibility of coming head, so possibility of coming head in a tossing one coin will be equal to 1 upon 2. And if I ask you what is the possibility of not coming head? Not coming head means if head is not coming, then who will be coming there? Tail will be coming, means indirectly we are finding the possibility of coming tail. That will be also 1 upon 2. So now if you add both of them, the possibility of coming head and the possibility of not coming head, okay, so both will be equal to 1. Okay, so here same way we can develop the general formula P of A plus P of not A will be equal to 1. So now suppose that if I want to find out the possibility of not coming head, so it will be equal to 1 minus the possibility of head. That also we can see. So similarly observe P of not A will be equal to 1 minus P of A. This is the formula. So if I want to find out the possibility of not happening any particular event, so I will subtract the possibility of the same event from 1 to get the required value. Now let us see the first question of the exercise 16.3. First question I am taking over here. So here the first question is given to us as which of the following cannot be the valid assignment of the probabilities for outcomes of sample space S. Okay, so see, first part you can look at over there. 0.1, 0.01, 0.05, all values you see they are positive and they are coming between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. Okay, so here in the first part we'll say, part number 1 will say, since P of Wi, or you can say that omega I, is less than 1, and, or we'll write down they lie between 0 and 1, so that will be more better. So we shall reframe this one. Since the value of Pwi will be lie between 0 and 1, so therefore we can say that all assignments, one more thing, see, all assignments are valid, we can't say right now, because here observe, only condition number 1 is satisfied, but the second condition, their addition, the sum of all sample points, what were the possibilities are coming over here, that possibilities should have the value equal to 1. So let us check that all values. Now second condition will apply. So P of W1 plus P of W2 plus P of W3. Okay, we'll check all of them. P of W4, W5 and W6. Okay, let us add all of them. Is equal to, what are the given values here? 0.1 plus 0.01, 0.05, then 0.03 plus 0.01 plus 0.2 and 0.6. Okay, so now let us add all of them. See, very simple, we can say here, see, 0.2 and 0.6, that is 0.8, and 0.8 and this 0.1, that will become 0.9. So addition of these three things will become 0.9. Okay, I will write down 0.90 just for convenience with the addition of the other terms. Now if I add 0.01, 0.05, 0.03 and 0.01, so 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 5 9, 9 plus 1 10. So I think this will come 0.1. Okay, so 0.10 we can say, and addition with the 0.9, I think perfectly it is coming 1.0. So we can say the sum of all probabilities is coming equal to 1. Therefore we can say that the given assignment is valid. Okay, so let us see the similarly the second part. In the second part also we shall check the two conditions given to us. So see, in the second part what we have given here. In the second part you observe the given assignments are 1 upon 7, 1 upon 7. All each and every assignment is given 1 upon 7. We can say these outcomes, sorry, assignment I said, these outcomes are equally likely outcomes. Okay, so let us see the part number B. First of all, you observe, since each and every outcome is given 1 upon 7, so we can say that the value of all assignment lie between 0 and 1. Okay, so here P of Wi is equal to is lie between 0 and 1, where the value of I will be equal to 1, 2, dash dash till 7. Okay, so here, and we shall check the sum of all assignments. So here see, writing all the assignments individually, P of W1, P of W2, that is difficult for us, so we are using one notation for summation, that is sigma. We can say that this Greek letter is called as sigma, and here range will define I is equal to 1 to 7 P of all Wi will be equal to. Now see, first value is 1 upon 7, second value is also 1 upon 7. Same, we will write down the remaining 5 values. So 7 values are there, 4 are there up till now, then 5, 6 and then one more 7. And if you add all these 7 values, it will be equal to 7 upon 7 will be equal to 1. So we can say here also observe both the conditions are followed. So we can say that here also the given assignment is valid. Okay. So now let us see the next part. In the next part, again we can check the remaining two conditions. The conditions are there. First of all the outcomes should lie between 0 and 1, and addition of all of them is equal to 1 and only 1. So let's see, in the part number C, we have given that 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. These are the given assignments. So one thing you observe, all the assignments, sorry, all the outcomes are between 0 to 1 only. So we can say that since all outcomes lie between 0 to 1, okay, because all the values are coming in decimal. So here if I take the value of PW1, PW2, PW3 till PW7, all values are coming here under 0 to 1. So condition number 1 is satisfied. But now if I take the value of sum of all outcomes, means suppose if I find out the summation from 1 to 7 of all PW1, PW2 till PW7. So that will be 0 0.1 plus 0 0.2 plus 0 0.3. Okay, we'll add all of them 0 0.4, 0 0.5, 0 0.6 and then 0 0.7. So let us all of them. So see, 7 plus 6 13, 5 18, 22, 25, 27 and 29. I think it is coming 2.9, which is more than 1. So we can say that the second condition is not followed. So therefore we can say that the given assignment is not valid, right? Similarly, let us check the part number D. In the part number D, observe what we have given here. See, in the part number D, assignments are given. We are looking the assignments over there, but condition number 1 only not followed, because look at the PW1 and PW5. That is minus of 0 0.1 and minus of 0 0.2. So we can say that these two assignments are negative. Sorry, these two outcomes are negative. Therefore, the given assignment is not valid. Okay. So here in the part number D, we shall write down since PW1 and PW5 are negative. Okay, so we can say that since they are negative, therefore the first condition is only not followed, because the all outcomes should lie between 0 to 1. So we can say that therefore the given assignment is not valid. Okay, let us check quickly the last part number E. Part number E, you observe it is given 1 upon 14, 2 upon 14, 3 upon 14. So see, if the numerator is smaller, then we can say that the value is lie between 0 to 1, or it is under 1 we can say. For example, 1 upon 14, 2 upon 14, 3 upon 14, all these values is under 1 only till 6 upon 14. But look at the last one, 15 upon 14. 15 upon 14, this value is going more than 1. So again the first condition is only not satisfied here, because according to the condition number 1, all the outcome should lie between 0 to 1. So they could not be negative as well as they could not be more than 1. So here 15 upon 14, the last assignment is more than 1. So same way we shall write down in the part number E, we'll say since the value of PW7 is equal to 15 upon 14, that is more than 1. Okay, so we can say that therefore given assignment is not valid. Okay, the given assignment will not be valid over here. Here if you want to give the reason, you can give the reason here, since the value of all outcomes should lie between 0 to 1. Okay, so let us move to the second question now. Question number 2. See, as I have told you, we shall write down the value of any event, means the probability of any event we shall find out by a new formula, that P of A is equal to N of A upon N of S. Okay, so same formula we shall apply now from second question onwards. See here, we have given that a coin is tossed twice. The coin we are tossing 2 times, means 2 coins we are tossing simultaneously. So here what can be the sample space? Sample space will write down when we are tossing the 2 coin. Both the coin can be obtained head, or first coin head, second one is tail, first one is tail, second one is head, and both the coin may obtain here tail. So we can say that therefore the number of sample points over here will be 4, because total number of elements in the sample space you can see there are 4. So N of S, we will say here it will be 4. What is the probability that at least one tail occurs? So here we shall define one event A, and we'll say that at least one tail occur, means the tail should be one or more than one. More than one means maximum how many tails can come? Maximum it can come 2. So we shall take the elements in the set A in such a way, either it will take one tail or it will take the 2 tails. So I think 3 elements will come: head tail, tail head, and then it will be tail, right? So because we want to cover only those elements which contain either one tail or 2 tails. So A will be getting here 3 elements, and we can say that therefore the value of N of A will be equal to 3. Now if I wish to find out the value of P of A, so as per the formula it will be N of A upon N of S. Okay, and if I put up the value over here, it will be equal to 3 upon 4. This is your answer. Similarly, let us see the next question. Question number, we'll check now third one. See, in the third question, what we have given to us. A die is thrown, find the probability of following events. If a die is thrown, then sample space will be here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Okay, let us see the part number 1. Here one thing we forgot, write down the number of sample points, that will be 6. Okay, let us define the first event A. What they are saying, event A, prime number appear, means we have to find out the possibility of prime number. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, who are the prime number? One is 2, second one is 3, and third one is 5. So we can say that therefore N of A will be equal to 3, and so therefore P of A will be equal to N of A upon N of S. That is a formula. So that will be equal to 3 upon 6, means it will be equal to 1 upon 2. Look at the part number B. A number greater than or equal to 3 will appear. So here we can define the second event, number greater than or equal to 3 appear. Okay, number is either 3 or more than 3. So there will be 4 numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can say that B will have 4 element in that case, 3, 4, 5, 6. and so we can say that the value of n of b will be equal to 4. So now further we will say that here, therefore the value of p of b is equal to 4 upon 6, means it will be equal to 2 upon 3. Similarly, check the part number 3rd. Now in the third part, see what they are asking in the third part. A number less than or equal to 1 will appear. Less than or equal to 1. See, here I will define one event. The number less than or equal to 1 appear. So how many numbers are there in sample space who are less than or equal to 1? Equal to 1, there is one number, that is 1 itself, and no number is less than 1. So here only one element will come which is fulfilling the condition, and the value of n of c will be equal to here 1. And in the same manner, if I try to find out the value of p of c, that will be equal to 1 upon 6. Okay. Similarly, let us check the part number D now. In the part number D, they are saying number more than 6 will appear, and in part number 5, they are saying number less than 6 will appear. So see, part number D we will see first. In the part number D, they are saying number more than 6 will appear. Number should be more than 6 appear. Now one thing, tell me how many numbers are there which is more than 6. So we'll say that more than 6 there is no number. So D will be equal to 5, and we can say that the n of D will be equal to 0. So if we try to find out the value of P of D, so P of D will be equal to 0 upon 6, because n of D upon n of S, so it will be equal to 0. And similar way, if we try to find out the part number E, so in the E part they are saying the number should be less than 6 appear. Okay, once we can check, they are saying less than 6 or less than or equal to 6, because it will create one additional element. No, they said only number less than 6 will appear. So how many numbers are there which are less than 6? There will be 5 numbers. So we that therefore in the set E, elements will come 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Therefore the value of n of E will be equal to 5, and so the value of P of E is equal to 5 upon 6. Okay, so this is your answer of all the parts. Okay, so we have finished till question number 3rd. Next question, question number 4 onwards, we'll see in our online class. Okay, thank you.